John King saying that he has had a hard time finding ways to run the ball against this Denton Ryan defense, which earlier this week he called the best he has ever seen in his football coaching career. Would like to open up the passing game a little bit. In the first half, high winds down here made that difficult. More than anything else, they want to win first downs on this in this second half of play, guys.
All right, good info, Chris. Appreciate that. And something Chris mentioned that I want to give a quick shout out to, talking about the Mesquite ISD and their hospitality. I tell you what, the Texas high school football media mafia that covers high school football across this state, they all know it. Mesquite is as good as it gets when it comes to hospitality, and we are welcomed once again today with some of the best people in the business, just treating us great, and we really appreciate that.
Well, it goes a long way, and we really appreciate that, and I can't second you any better than that, partner. You hit it right on the head there.
So certainly glad to be here. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks and their first halves in the ball game today.
Well, you know, Seth Hennigan, I thought he was in full command of the game. He took control of the ball, protected the ball, made the play that needed to be made. And Jordan Allen, he's a sophomore, so you're going to have good, the bad, and the indifferent from time to time. But he has shown the capability to be an effective passer. And until they loosen up that front seven, Jordan Allen's got to back them off with some short intermediate passes.
Cade Meredith and DeKalen Taylor back to receive for Longview as they will get the ball to start the second half. Look at Meredith, our key player from the beginning of the game. Short kick, bobbled at the 30-yard line, picked up, and now being returned out across the 40. Up across midfield, Dalen Davis. Terrific return. Actually make that C.J. Hopkins, who carried it into Ryan territory. He bobbled it, but was able to pick it up and make a nice gain out of it.
Well, it happens every single time the returner drops the pass. The coverage team freezes just a split second, and that's all it takes for the blocks to still develop. And C.J. Hopkins reels off a nice one, and this is what you're talking about, getting a good start here in the second half for the offense.
Senior receiver C.J. Hopkins with the return, and penalty coming on the first play for Longview. This will be a false start.
False start. Offense number 87, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Man, that's unfortunate too, because Denton Ryan was running players on as the ball was being snapped, so they had the numbers. But then you had a false start on offense, and you see Coach King kind of casually shake his head. It's like, we can't have that kind of stuff if we want to come out here and win this second half.
Very few penalties between the two teams so far this afternoon. Jordan Allen out of the gun. He'll pass it, being chased as he was doing so. Incomplete. Jalen Hale, the intended receiver.
Well, you see a little bit of a defensive adjustment here. Now the defensive backs, the cornerbacks, Austin Jordan, number 3, is in a tight press coverage against Jalen Hale. And he's not allowing Jalen Hale to do anything coming off the line of scrimmage. And when you got that on the back end, and then you've got this front 7 with the pressure in his face, man, it is tough to crack the code of this defense.
Second down and 15. Jordan Allen trying to run that option down the line, but it was blown up. Michael G., the 5'11 junior, just read that perfectly.
Man, I mean, this is a ferocious hit. Watch the down the line penetration. This is the sprint option that they had success with. You've got one eliminating the running back, and then here comes Michael G. to clean up the QB.
Look at G, the junior on the defensive end for Ryan. And now third down and 18. Lobos on their opening drive of the second half. Allen with time. Flush from the pocket by Sanders, will throw downfield, out of bounds, and that will bring up fourth down.
Well, he took a shot. Oh, You know, I've been there. I've been a sophomore quarterback on varsity, and your team is needing you to make a play. But this is what it is when you play big boy football. As soon as you get rid of it, you're going to pay for it. He's got to learn on the fly. My hat's off to him to be a fierce competitor. Man, it is just tough sledding against arguably one of the best defenses in the state.
It's Anthony Hill, the middle linebacker, who put the pop on Jordan Allen. Antonio Onofre with the punt. And Billy Bowman Jr. signaling for the fair catch, makes it inside the 20-yard line. 35-yard punt, and Ryan will have the ball for the first time in the second half when we come back. A 6-point lead for the Ryan Raiders as they will have the ball for the first time here in the second half. Seth Hennigan leading the offense onto the field.
Well, let's see what Coach Hennigan decides to do with this offense. Are they going to try to force feed the ball to Jatavian Sanders, or are they going to try to get some balance and get this running game established? This will tell us a lot here in this opening series.
Caleb Hicks stays in at running back for the Raiders, and he will take the handoff, and he is met by a host of Lobos. He'll lose 2 yards on that play. And guess who again? Joe Jones.
Hey, I'm telling you, he has the cadence down on Seth Hennigan, because if you can take a wide shot of this, he's the first guy to move on either offense, the defensive line. Watch this. Watch him move. Look. He's already got the jump off there, and he's the first guy in the backfield, and he blows the entire thing up, Doug.
He's moving with the ball.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like he's offsides, but he's perfectly timing the snap every time, and he's in the backfield.
Got some help from McQuailin Hale on that play. Second down, delay handoff, and this time Hicks has running room. Picks up the first down up at the 30-yard line. 13 yards on the game.
Boy, this was a quick one, right? Little read option. Just take the ball. You take it. That's all it was like. Here, you take it. I'm not going to get hit.
That time it was almost like Joe Jones was too fast in the backfield. There he goes again.
It got to be offsides.
Yeah, it got to be offsides at that point. You know, there's anticipation, and then there's, jumping ahead.
I love it. I mean, he is in the game.
Aggressive.
Defense number 93, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
He's way quick on this one, but man, not by a whole lot. It's not that much different than what he's done earlier, but that clearly he was way offsides. That's the game within the game, Doug, right? You just try to find something to get an edge.
Longview's defense, stout. They only give up 77 yards on the ground per game. They've only given up 19 points a contest. Delay handoff, there's another flag. Caleb Hicks. Quaylen Hale with the tackle, but again, there might be an offsides penalty coming against the Lobos.
Yeah, you'll take those cheap 5 yards every time you
Offsides, defense number 55. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That was Jacamian Carr.
Well, sometimes you get a little bit too antsy because you know you're undersized against a bigger offensive line. You try to get that edge, but when you kind of straddle the fence a little bit, you got to be careful. They're going to call you. Seth Hennigan now, he's got them on their heels. mix up that cadence a little bit, and then give your offensive line that advantage back to reestablish the line of scrimmage.
There's the snap. Hennigan pulls it back from Hicks. Will keep it, but he's going down. Lost yardage on the play. Good job to make the tackle for Longview, Trevor Tamplin.
Yeah, I just couldn't figure out what he was wanting to do here. He's not looking at what he's supposed to read. When you do that read option, you never look back at your running back. You look at that end man on the line of scrimmage and read him. Got to be careful on that kind of exchange with these defensive linemen, aggressive as they are.
Hennigan hit as he delivers. It's caught. Keegan Cunningham with his third catch of the day. 6-yard gain. You talked about some linebackers that are causing some problems. LaQuaylin Hale is one this afternoon for Longview.
Fantastic catch. Yeah, these linebackers are giving the offense trouble. They're coming from all over, but that's a heck of a catch. Even from that angle there, it's even more spectacular.
3rd and 4.
Now, you got to give your QB time, but you've got to be on the same page with your receivers. If this ball's got to go in the air, but is he going to have time to get the read out?
Has time and delivers to Jatavian Sanders for a first down. 10 yards at the 44-yard line, and big number 1 making a grab.
Well, he knew where he needed to go for the yard to make. Look at here. He's got about a 5-yard cushion. You want to just kind of ease yourself into that little zone. You see that? You got to feel that as a receiver, especially in that zone coverage. You don't want to run into a coverage.
Hennigan, open receiver. Keegan Cunningham at the 10. Touchdown. 44 yards and the second TD of the day for Keegan Cunningham.
Yeah, that's just a blown coverage. You know, it's one thing to, as a quarterback, you know, anticipate it coming on, but it's another thing when it's the backside of the play, and he just finds it. That's a beautiful, well-designed play. They fake the screen. The inside receiver, typically the blocker, he releases and goes upfield. The quarterback sees it and makes the throw to him.
Blair Robleyer with the extra point. It's good, and Ryan now leading by 13 with a 20-7 advantage. Hennigan finding Cunningham for the second time today.
Raiders 20, Lobos 7 in the third quarter at Mesquite Memorial Stadium. Seth Hennigan with a touchdown pass. Like everybody else, he had a big challenge this year with no true offseason. Good news is he lives with the quarterback's coach. He was at the field out back of their house about 3-4 days a week with little brother Quinn also going through the drills. He's a future Ryan Raider right now in 7th grade. Coach Hennigan could have snuck his son up to the weight room at school, but didn't do that. Like everyone else, he had to work with what he had at home. And compared to last year, the coach says the quarterback is stronger in the pocket, better runner, and mentally, Seth just has a thirst for this QB1 position. He is truly an extension of the coach off the field.
Such a advantage to have that in your house. You'll be able to watch film together and do all the talking about the offense together. And at the end of the day, though, you have to be able to put it on the field, and that's what Seth Hennigan's been able to do.
Well, a lot to think about Seth Hennigan. He's just a gamer, and you don't need to be, gaudy in your stats. Just make the play on the field. The routine plays will get you the win because the defenses that you have throughout the entire season is going to keep you in just about every game.
Jordan Allen leading the Lobos out onto the field. This Lobo team, such a great rushing ball club, but only averaging about 3 yards a carry today. 18 for 54 on the ground. Hand off to Haynes. Starts one way, now the other, and fights to get a yard perhaps on the play.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. You might be able to get away with that type of run, maybe the second, third game of the year, the first district game, maybe against some of your district mates, but when you play against Denton Ryan, the top team in the state, one of the best defense, if not the best defense, that sideline to sideline, that reverse stuff, it will get eaten up pretty quickly because they're just as fast as you are getting to the ball as well.
Call it a loss of yardage on the play. 2nd and 11 coming up. Allen rolling out. There's a flag on the play.
Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away.
Allen will be dragged out of bounds by Michael G. Let's see what the penalty is.
I just would like to be on the sideline and talk to the young kid. I think they need to get in his ear just a little bit more. Let him know that everything is going to be all right, that he doesn't have to do it.
Defense number 96, 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
It's Big Bear.
There's an offside penalty against Bear Alexander, and it's 5 yards for the Lobos.
You just got to talk to the young quarterback, say, hey, you don't have to win this by yourself. You've got 10 other guys out there. Take a deep breath, and then they've got to help him out and give him a play to where he can excel. Give him an option to where it eliminates one side of the field. You're asking him to read the defense from sideline to sideline. He's not there for that, not for this type of game. Make it simple. Let his talent come out.
Another whistle. This time it's a false start.
Well, he's going the wrong way now.
False start. Offense number 87, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Scott Burks, our referee this afternoon.
It's all about that body language, man. When you're the quarterback, there's the penalty starting to mount up a little bit here for the Lobos, but that body language there, I'm looking at all of that. I've been there. I know what's in his head, but you got to be that focus, that leader for the rest of your teams, because when they see you kind of slumping a little bit, the team is going to feed off of that, and they're going to start to slump. You got to believe in the guy calling his signals. I know he's an underclassman, but he's got to do it here.
Markavian Haynes with the carry up to the 25-yard line. Bear Alexander rolled into the turf. 8-yard gain for Haynes. A little bit of positive momentum there for the Lobos.
Yeah, they needed that. Here it is. You got the guards pulling. You got a little bit of zone blocking the outside. You got bodies out in front of the running back, bringing the fight to the defense. And when they can do that, they've had their success today. That's not the typical numbers that Haynes typically has. Big 3rd down here, Doug.
Longview needs this one. 3rd and 3. Hand off to Haynes. And Haynes close, but not enough. He's going to be about 1.5 yards shy of that 1st down marker.
Well, when the defense knows you're not going to throw the ball in that 3rd and short, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 situation, they've got a one-track mind. They're just going to back there and tee off on the running back. Look at the penetration here. They know you're going to run the ball. So look at him, just gang tackling in the backfield, and Markavius Haynes has no chance to even get to the line of scrimmage.
Saw Jatavian Sanders in on that play. So 4th down, and the Lobos set up in punt formation. Billy Bowman Jr. back to receive it. Low line drive kick. Bowman will watch it roll past, and it'll dive to 35-yard line. 39-yard punt. Ryan will take over leading by 13, and before they do, let's go down to the field and check in with Chris.
Coming to CW 33 this January, Justice comes home with a new generation of Texas Rangers. Supernatural's Jared Padalecki stars as Walker, a lawman, widower, and father with a strong moral code who returns home. Don't miss the series premiere of Walker, Thursday, January 21st on CW 33.
Ryan up 20-7. Hennigan, handoff. Hicks brought down, and a penalty flag after the tackle. No gain on the play. See what the penalty is, but Cameron Thomas made the stop on Hicks.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 26. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Calling Devian Isaac with the face mask penalty. We'll take a look at it.
Well, let's take a look at the end of this here. Isaac's played a heck of a ball game. Could have easily called it on the offense too.
Definitely a face mask. That's gonna.
Yeah, they probably could have called it either way, or not called it at all.
Hurt the Lobos a little bit as it's a 15-yard penalty up to midfield. Hennigan with time, throwing one deep downfield. Bowman just out of his reach. Oh, Hennigan had Bowman, and Bowman had the space. Just overthrew him.
Well, the wind is blowing right to left if you're watching at home on TV, so this pass sails on him. But I think the sun gets a little bit in Billy Bowman Jr.'s face, and he didn't kick it into that extra gear to go get it. I like the adjustment. Now they're attacking more vertically with this defense and make them have to cover a lot of field.
Hicks carries for a couple. Devian Isaac with the tackle on the play.
Well, if there's any time this Lobos defense needs to make a play, they got to make a play here. And
well, you've already asked them to do so much today. They've responded. They've been up to the task. But, yeah, I agree. They've got to step up even more here.
You talk about them being plus 14, plus 15 to take away turnover margin. This is where you need that now. But again, contrastly, this is a team that doesn't make many mistakes offensively. They protect the ball so well and yet still explosive.
Hennigan fires one over the middle. It's incomplete. Intended for Cunningham. And a good job by the Lobos secondary. That will force the fourth down. Jacoby Williams.
Well, I like the job here by Seth Hennigan. He wants to go play side over here. It's covered well. Comes back. This is his third option in the play, I should say. And it's well covered by the defense.
Unfortunately, we have a Lobo on the field. That's Jakamian Carr, defensive end. He's being attended to by the training staff now. It's 4th and 9 for the Raiders, as Longview trails 20-7. Winner of this game moving on to play Highland Park, who beat Frisco Lone Star on Thursday 30-20. Both teams have plenty of motivation facing Highland Park. Ryan has lost in the state semifinals 3 years in a row prior to last season to the Highland Park Scots. And this year, Longview had a chance to beat the Scots but lost by 5, 18-13.
Oh, those pesky, pesky Scots. They just continue to do it year in and year out. But, yeah, you're right. But these two teams got to take care of business today. This game is long from being settled. Right now, looks like the Ryan Raiders are in control. They are going to have to punt this ball back to the Lobos.
Jacamian Sanders being helped off the field. Jatavian Sanders. Jacamian Carr, rather. Jatavian Sanders punting it deep and trying to return it. Is an ill choice for Dylan Davis as he tried to return the ball but was tackled inside the 5-yard line. 43-yard punt. Loss of 1 on the return. They'll spot him just outside the 5 at the 6. And I'm thinking he may He should have thrown up the hand on that one.
Yeah, he probably should let it go because the ball had plenty of momentum. This may actually go out the back of the end zone if he lets it bounce there. But instead, you know, you've got a defender right on him, Jared Dutton, number 12. Hey, you know what? You can't fault a kid for trying to make a play, but you also have to be smart. You may have cost your team about 10 to 15 yards on that thing.
Lobo defense held. It's up to the offense to get things moving. Caden Meredith with the carry. Picked up a couple.
Oh, boy, getting real chippy now. Real chippy.
Pushing, a little shoving going on between the two teams down there inside the 10-yard line. Jatavian Sanders getting a hold of Big Bear Alexander, telling him to let his cooler head prevail. And Alexander will step off to the sideline.
Now, when the flag was thrown, the Longview offensive lineman, I think it was Jatavian Bush, they threw it right after he kind of struck back. But you could call this offsetting. You could, a lot of things you could do on this one here.
There are 2 dead ball fouls on the play. Unsportsmanlike. Offense number 75. Unsportsmanlike. Defense number 96. Those penalties we offset. We'll replay the down.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think both were guilty in it.
Jatavian Bush and Bear Alexander, the parties involved.
He got an earful from Coach Hennigan, didn't he?
Yes, he did. In this stage in the game, you just don't want anything that's going to turn the tide.
Right.
And so you got to keep your mind in the ball game.
Well, if you trust it, Doug, this is a perfect situation where play action pass, you got a single receiver, nobody is back there, you got the entire field, it's one-on-one, just throw you one up there and let Hale go get it.
It'll hand it off to Meredith, and Meredith tackled at the 4-yard line, lost a couple on that play. There's Michael G again to make a stop. A couple of things that really bother me about the Lobo offense. They're not diversifying like you talked about. And also, Caden Meredith, I'm sorry, he lines up way too far back in the backfield.
He's about 8 yards deep, isn't he?
You cannot line up that far back against the Raiders.
Not enough time. And that hole, if it does open, closes so quick, Doug. And you're exactly right. That's a great observation. And yeah, I think you got to hit some quick hitters. I think you got to get back to kind of doing what you do almost. And Allen didn't have a chance there.
Allen threw the ball incomplete, intended for Haynes, but there's a flag on the play. Offensive lineman Jatavian Bush is on the turf for the Lobos. Not sure where the penalty came from. As you can tell, the shadows are starting to creep into Mesquite Memorial Stadium as the sun begins to descend on the backside.
Boy, what a great setting, too. This stadium is fantastic.
It's a terrific stadium, and we've been coming here forever, but this is our first chance to be here since the press box was renovated. We used to come and be in a little corner.
It's kind of like being in a closet.
Almost like a closet in the press box, but now very nice accommodations. And Mesquite doing it first class as always. And this stadium in particular, a great stadium because it seats 20,000. So you've got the opportunity here to host high-level playoff games like this one, still bring a lot of people into it to be able to see it.
Here in the play, personal foul, face mask, offense number 63. That penalty's been declined, 4th down.
That's the center, Connor Cox, guilty of a face mask. And that will bring up 4th down, and now Antonio Onofre is going to punt from the backside of his end zone.
Well, we need his best effort here, and Onofre has got the leg. He was booming him out of this side at the beginning of the game, about 2 hours before the game. They need a big one here.
High kick, shallow. Bowman calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 31-yard line. So Great field position for Ryan as they take over leading by 13.
Yeah, they just kind of, even though they had to punt the ball on their last possession, you're thinking field position. Well, they gained some yards on this. With that short field that they had to defend, the defense did their job. They knew the punter was punting into the wind, and lo and behold, you get the ball back, and you get it on the 31 of the Lobos. I think that's a great decision of playing the percentages, and now your offense is a few yards away of getting in the red zone here.
Hennigan toss to Bowman. And Bowman quickly taken down, gain him a couple perhaps. Jacoby Williams on the stop. Let's send it down to the field and check in with Chris.
We're in Class 5A Division I for this game. Another game in this class and division, but up in Region 1. Red Oak and Lubbock Coronado playing out in Wichita Falls. They are headed to overtime. It is 35-35. Big passing performances for both teams. For Coronado, Sawyer Robinson has 254 yards and 4 touchdowns. Red Oak's Joshua Urban, 193 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Fun game going on between those two, as here Keegan Cunningham makes the catch, good for a first down inside the 20-yard line.
This is a very nice job by Seth Hennigan. Anytime you do any of the little play fakes, anytime you got your back turned just a little bit, he gets back upfield and locates his receiver right in the middle of the defense and puts it right on the money so he can make a play and protect himself.
Hennigan dumping one to Bowman. Bowman heading to the near sideline. No way to turn it upfield, so he goes out of bounds. And that'll actually be a loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, this is one of the rare teams that can go kind of speed for speed with Billy Bowman Jr. We've seen him take something like that, cut all the way against the grain of the defense and take it home for a touchdown. But a lot of speed on that Lobos defense, and they shut that down pretty quick.
I'm still waiting for him to throw one up to Jatavian Sanders.
It's coming.
I think it's coming too. I just keep anticipating it. Maybe this is it. We'll find out.
Dylan Davis got to be ready.
Hennigan running it, now throwing it for Sanders. Tries to one-hand it in the end zone, incomplete. And don't think that he can't do it. He made national highlights earlier this year with a one-handed grab in the end zone for a touchdown just like that.
That play made Sports Center.
Yes, it did. He got mossed.
He got mossed, yeah. Almost does it here. Passed just a little bit too much. Dylan Davis, that's the thing. If you're a smaller defender, just get in the chest of those bigger receivers. Look at him. He's just scrappy. You just make it difficult. The quarterback's eyes don't see that spot to put it, and you can protect yourself as a defensive back that way too.
Now 3rd and 12, and Ryan calls timeout. So the Raiders want to talk about it on 3rd and 12, 1:05 remaining in the third. And they're trying to add to that 13-point lead. Chris talked about the Lubbock, Coronado, and Red Oak game. Denton Geyer, the DISD teammate of the Ryan Raiders, involved in a pretty good ball game right now against Abilene's Eagles. And last time I checked, they were leading 14-7 in that contest. So that DISD, Geyer and Ryan, boy, every year those two teams seem to be a threat and making runs.
Well, they are tough every single year, and hats off to the coaching staff because now with Braswell, another Denton ISD type school over there, the talent pool is kind of getting dispersed, but these teams find a way to get it done year in and year out.
And for more, let's check in with Chris.
She tells the one story the other talk shows ignore. Yours. Be a part of the Tam Fam. 5 days a week with the Tamron Hall Show. Weekday mornings at 9, followed by Morning After on CW33.
All right, 3rd down and 12. And here come the Raiders.
One-on-one down here at the bottom of the screen.
Hennigan looks for Sanders. He catches it. Out of bounds at the 11-yard line. That's going to be shy of a first down by about a yard. So 4th down coming up for the Raiders, and see what they want to do here. Easy field goal opportunity, but you think this team might figure, hey, we can get a yard.
You got to like the way Sanders catches that ball in his hands, you know. you just it's got to make a quarterback feel good. You just throw it into a 3-yard radius and watch these big old hands just snag it. That's a comfortable catch.
Jatavian Sanders now lines up at the QB, and he will try to carry it for a first down, pushing his way to it. They call his forward progress the 9-yard line, but let's see where they officially spot it.
Oh, boy. Flag.
And penalty flag comes in late, as well as Sanders has his helmet knocked off and comes up talking to that Lobo defense.
Well, the Quaylen Hale, I mean, he makes a great play, but he's going to get the unsportsmanlike conduct. Unless it missed me, it looked like he was the one kind of taunting at the end of the play. You've already won the down and distance. They're pointing the other ways. Nonetheless, it might be Lobos' ball.
Well, they made the initial stop. Well, the line judge originally came in where it was a first down, but then they changed that, and now penalty flags. So we have to sort it out with these officials here this afternoon. See what the call is from Scott Burks.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Longview number 39. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Longview.
So it was called as the dead ball personal foul. So you're marking Longview back 15 yards, but ball goes to Longview. They say that Sanders did not make the line to gain on the run. They denied him the first down. There you see the pushing and shoving at the end. That was Quaylen Hale who was charged with the personal foul. And that might be a bad personal foul, as you know how tough this Raider defense has been this afternoon. And they're pinning their ears back now. You see Bear Alexander. He's not going to have any of it.
Boy, I tell you what, they just have not been able to block, especially the big Bear. They haven't been able to block these front four guys at all. These linebackers at the Ryan Raiders has an easy job today because just really hadn't got to the next level of the defense.
It was Caden Meredith on that last carry, and he did not get far before Bear Alexander brought him down. Let's see what they got going on here. We got Jordan Allen at QB.
Don't
Option
do it.
Fake. Could be a face mask penalty coming as Allen went to the turf, tackle by Michael G. Looked like somebody got a hand on Jordan Allen's face mask, but I don't see any laundry on the field, so no call apparently. Arcavius Haynes is the running back in the backfield for the Lobos, and that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. And we do have a flag. I didn't see it. It's on the yellow stripe on the field. That's why.
I mean, it's right on the yellow stripe.
The yellow flag is on the yellow stripe, so it made it a little bit hard to see.
He couldn't do that.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 4. 15-yard penalty. We'll have one untimed down before the end of the quarter.
Sure we will.
Right. Ty Marsh with the penalty flag. And so the Lobos get a free play, basically, one untimed down.
Well, you know, I didn't think about it. You know, I talked about it a while ago, maybe taking a big shot downfield. Now, I forgot the wind is going against him. So that's a difficult throw, especially for a quarterback that doesn't have a quite strong enough arm to do it. So, again, this may be another run play, something to get the running back to the outside.
They'll run Caden Meredith. And Meredith will pick up a couple, maybe 3 on the run, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. So we go to the fourth quarter in Mesquite in the Class 5A Division I Region 2 semifinals. Ryan Raiders lead the Longview Lobos by 13.